Negotiation and right here.
Okay, so here we go. Round 7 of the Milwaukee Standard Open. Adam Stocksdale playing Jun versus Greg Ogreenc playing Mono Blue Devotion.
All right, so Jun here, tap land. Aren't you expecting a Farseek and then a Huntmaster? I mean, that's still kind of lurking around in my bones here. I can feel it. Still having nightmares, you know. Have you ever had a Ratchet's Return nightmare?
No,
you wake up in a cold sweat. Just like, man, where'd my hand go? Oh no, Jace is dead. Oh, I lost. Do you know I played in the WMCQ when Star City hosted it? The back-to-back, it was WMCQ and then
PTQ,
the PTQ. I played in that. It was the last PTQ I played in. And I lost to the same guy in both days. You know who that was? Playing Jun?
Brian Bronduin?
No, the Reduke.
Oh, wow.
I lost him in the WMCQ at being 5-0, and I lost him in the PTQ at 3-1, knocking me out. So Reduke.
Is he your nemesis?
No, I just couldn't beat him. He just has that aura of holiness around him.
Too nice. Huh?
I can only beat pure evil, so. All right, so we have land drops. Not happening for Adam. Big problem here. This mono blue deck it has no problem taking it slow, you know? Here's a guy, here's a guy. A million guys kill you.
Ooh, there's the Thassa, God of the Sea.
Thassa has skyrocketed in price. Another one of those cards that is a must-get. You better get your hands on them before they're all gone, because this card is here to stay in Standard. Not just in the mono blue deck, but we saw in the blue white control deck playing the Thassa package because of how good the card is by itself. What do you think about the unblockability? I've not seen it used on this card yet.
Yeah, well, this deck just kind of swarms too much.
Yeah, all their guys are just big anyway.
There's the card, Reaper of the Wilds. Greg has to read it. We're going to read it too here.
Okay, so, yes, whenever another creature dies, scry 1, so not himself, gains Death Touch and then gains Hexproof.
See, everything that has 3 abilities, I forget one of them. I remember the Death Touch. I said Regenerate instead of Hexproof.
Close
similar,
enough.
Protecting. I completely forgot it has a scry ability.
Yeah, this card I'm on the fence about. I'm not a huge fan.
4/5 for 4.
Yeah, it's okay. Isn't there a...
This is the last call to sign up.
I think there's some other creatures that are a little bit better than this one, but hey, you know what? He knows what he's doing here. He's got this. It has a lot of competition in the black-green deck. Oh, don't untap that guy. Come on now. I have main deck hate. All right, so it looks like we have ourselves a Xenagos the Reveler.
All right, party on.
I don't think he's gonna be pretty good here, but I think we're a little devotion away from that god coming to life here. All right, so we got a little dice, which is gonna be replaced by a big dice by the judge at the table, I'm sure, so we all can see the 3 on that. And pretty much this card's job is putting in 2/2 hasted green satyrs in play.
Oh, and he's got the, look, red and green. Love it.
There we go. And another thing, advantage of Greg's deck, again, even though this has a lot of green elements to it and it has black in it too, he still has Master of Waves, which has Pro Red, and already can like nerf.
Pro Red.
Yeah, it can get through
all over the place.
Get through those creatures. It can't get mortared.
So even though the Tidebender Mage is tapping down the Reaper of the Wilds, still got that triggered ability. We'll see if Adam remembers the trigger when some of these creatures start drawing. Scry 1 could come into play here.
Yep. All right, so another Tidebender Mage. 4 Tidebender Mage in the main is it's really rough.
Tap down that Satyr.
This is a metagame call. Picture like having all these Tidebender Mage and Omen Speakers against an Esper control deck right now. It would be just awful.
Importantly, that second Tidebender activates the god. Not quite activate, but not in a magic term, but activates the god.
Right. As we know in Greek mythology or in any mythology, gods derive their power from followers.
Yes.
If you don't have any followers, you are not a god. So this god now has at least 5 followers.
Legacy Open Trial players, your parents are up.
Some of them take out Xenagos. Some of them attack Adam's life total. 2 out of the 4 main deck Tidebender Mages, really locking things down for Greg.
And Adam just doesn't have the resources to play the spells in hand. and that's why a big reason why he's struggling right now. So Mortars will take out the 1, probably targeting his 4/5 Reaper of the Wilds. And then it looks like we have a Scavenging Ooze in hand, I think.
Yeah, a little constrained on mana here.
All right, here comes Ooze.
So they pointed to the Reaper. I guess maybe
Forgot the Scry.
Forgot the Scry.
Judge Thomas Burgess to the
Out.
stage, please.
Greg scries with his Thassa on his upkeep. Goes to the bottom.
There's just a ton of new cards being played right now. Look at this board. They're all just new cards. The vast majority of
The
the board.
oldest card is the Stomping Ground.
Yeah. Third Tidebender Mage against the red-green deck. Not bad, right?
That's got to do it, right?
All right.
No,
So-
not quite enough. Yeah, enough.
So Greg here pretty much has a sideboard in his main deck. It's just tough to beat. Tough to beat a card like that. It's kind of like if you're playing a control deck, and in the mirror I play Assemble Legion in my blue-white-red. Playing that game 1 just takes people off their game. It's kind of like you're assembling your Legion over there. Adam is. He's getting all these guys out, and then all of a sudden they're tapped, and they don't untap, and then you're just getting bashed by gigantic blue creatures. So it's kind of like when you have those cards main, you're really making a metagame call, and when you actually play against a deck you designed it to beat, it really pays off there, and we saw that there. Yeah, I don't even think it mattered what the rest of his cards were that game. Just 4 Tidebender Mages, 3 out of 4 of them, probably good enough to beat him by himself. So
Yeah, but we didn't really see much removal from Adam.
We saw Mortars.
He cast a Mortars, but didn't have enough mana to overload it.
right, Magma Jet's actually surprisingly good against this deck.
Magma Jet.
Only because it kills Cloudfin Raptor early, Judge's Familiar, kills Master of Waves, a token of 1.
I think the key card is the Golgari Charm.
Yeah, Golgari Charm is what you need right here.
Creatures get -1/-1.
That'll
It's
take
just
care
a-
of the
a
Master
single,
Series,
yeah, single card answer to the Master.
Yeah, he's got
Not a bad
Dreadboard.
choice.
He's got tons of removal. Let's see at the sideboard.
He has 2 Golgari Charms main. He's gonna bring in a third one.
You can bring in the Abrupt Decays. That pretty much hits nearly all of the permanents on the other side of the board there. He's going to bring in... Do you think he brings in the Anger of the Gods, probably. I mean, I'm bringing all 3 of those. Pretty good. I mean, only thing it doesn't kill would be the Master himself, kills all his buddies, Frostborn Blue, but it kills Tidebender Mage, Nightville Spectre, Judge Familiar, and Cloudfin Raptor, and Open Speaker. So I'll probably bring a couple of those. On the other side, we have Gainsay. That's a funny sideboard card. I actually talked a little bit of junk about Gainsay. I didn't think it'd be
You don't like
playable.
that?
Not in standard, no. I think I'd rather just have a negate. But obviously with Greg knows about the mono blue devotion deck, so Gainsay didn't only hit the spells, hits the creatures there too, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, could hit the Master of Waves, could hit the Thassa. Right, negate is never gonna hit Thassa.
Yeah, so it has a lot of different applications here.
I like having all of the 2 mana counter spells like that. Each do something different, and you have to pick and choose depending on the metagame.
Really? I kind of liked it when it was just counter target spell.
Yeah, blue counter
Blue
target
counter
spell.
target spell.
Yeah.
Is that really broken? They reprint Duress, which was, cried about forever. They reprinted Thought Seed, which is even better Duress. They reprint Incinerate every few times. They even made Bolt before they made Counterspell. Those are all better than Counterspell. Come on, give us Counterspell back.
No,
No? Okay.
never coming back.
I mean, and look, for God's sake, in Legacy, it's a one of in the Esper Blade decks, and no one else even plays Counterspell.
Stone Rain will come back before Counterspell, and that's never coming back either.
Yeah. Never
Talking
thought
about for standard play.
Never
here.
thought Bolt would come back. That was ridiculous. Nothing like getting lightning bolted in Type 2.
Yeah. What do you get instead of Stone Rain? Peak Eruption.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Surprisingly played right now.
Mostly because of Chain to the Rocks, right?
Yeah, I mean, Chain of Rocks, and I mean, if you're playing the mirror match, you can really set them back, lands, and deal damage.
Tyler Grestich. Your opponent is
And I like the
ready for
flavor of it.
Tyler
Like your
Grestich.
mountain, I'm gonna make it into a volcano. Kaboom!
Yeah,
and
and
it
it
blows
does-
up in your face.
Yeah, that's definitely does something good there. I think there's a few cards in history there. Molten Rain would be one that comes to mind that did the same effect but actually hit any land.
What was that volcano that blew up in Greek history? What, on that island, right?
The island we're talking about in Pompeii.
Yeah,
Is that what we're talking
Pompeii. Isn't that a movie coming out?
I think so.
I don't know if it's actually Pompeii. It might be like a fake Pompeii.
Yeah,
They gave
probably.
it some name.
Probably a fake Pompeii.
But I saw a trailer for it. It looked like, yet another. It almost looked like a sequel to Clash of the Titans.
Then again, it's funny because I teach a little bit of Greek history. I teach a kind of a survey class, but the Greek history is so jacked because all the things in Greek history have literal gods influence everything. They're like, well, and then this battle, Ares came down, the god of war, who influenced this and then helped me in battle and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So when they're jotting down history, they're actually, the gods are down there fighting with them. I don't know about all that.
Haven't you seen Xena Warrior Princess?
I have, or Hercules, yeah, the gods are down there
When this
messing around.
set came out and these names, 2 weeks ago, Cedric Phillips and Matthias Hunt were having so much trouble pronouncing some of these names because they were doing the Team Seal tournament, so they had to name all of the cards in the set because it's limited.
Yeah.
We only had to deal with a few of the new ones seeing play, but they had everything. They're like Polukranos, couldn't figure it out. Like, man, I wish I had watched more Hercules and Xena to figure out how to
would have
pronounce
known these
these.
different names. Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare.
All right, Thoughtseize on turn 1 from Adam Stockdale.
I know what he's taking. Probably that Tidebender Mage.
It's a problem.
I know he's not taking
Not
that
taking
Omen
Omen
Speaker.
Speaker.
No, not taking Omen Speaker. If you just joined us or recently have been listening, I've been joking Omen Speaker from about 10 o'clock in the morning till now. It's not getting old for me, but if it's getting old for you guys, just let me know.
2 things that Shaheen Sarani does not like. Omen Speaker.
And Ashiok. I don't like Ashiok so much that the actual title of Ashiok, I don't even know it.
What is he? The Nightmare Weaver?
Yeah, sure. It sucks. I don't know if you
Kinda
guys
like
have
the
noticed, but
Dreamweaver.
we mentioned last round that Wafo Tapa, undefeated in the standard portion,
Guillaume Wafo-Tapa.
crushed with Esper, and he has a magical number of Ashioks. If you want to tweet at us at SCG Live and also hashtag SCGMKE, or personally at me, Shaheen Sarani, at SShaheenMTG, tell us how many.
This is interesting.
Tell me how many Ashioks were in Wafo Tapa's deck.
This
And
is
if you-
interesting.
If you get the right
Adam
number, we'll
took
give you
the
nothing.
Judge's Familiar.
Hey, he must have something spicy he
Yeah.
wants to resolve, which is fine. So tweet at us, let us know how many
It could-
Ashioks in the top
maybe
8.
he's Landlight, so he doesn't want that Judge's Familiar to mess up his potential spells down the line.
Maybe. I still think you take Tidebender here.
That's because he's got the Golgari Charm, so that's very weird that he would take a 1/1.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he can't play the Tidebender now, so obviously it's not like a threat that he's going to play at a level, because it doesn't do anything yet. But he's going to play the Omen Speaker. He's going to level here, and then he's going to get in there for 2 damage after the Scry here. So both on bottom.
On the bottom.
And here
Attack
comes
for 1.
1 damage here.
Don't forget to attack. Always attack.
Alright, so we have a spell here. It looks like his hand is about no more land and then 100 removal spells here in a dragon. It looks like it has Mortars, Abrupt Decay, Hero's Downfall, and then he's got the dragon in hand. Tons of removal.
Goes with the Dread Boar on the Cloudfin Raptor.
Yeah, he has
Knowing that it's going to grow from the Frostburn Weird.
he's got a ton of removal spells too. So, I mean, it's like it doesn't really matter what he wastes the early ones on. So, we'll see if what he can come back with here.
Magic players, if at the end
All right.
of this round,
Congratulations
you
to
are
Victor
7-0,
Puente. He guessed that there were 0 Ashioks off the top of his deck.
please come up
Victor,
to
you
stage
win
at
$0
this
and
Again,
win
at
no
the
premium.
end of
But
this
thank you for
round,
listening. And
You
leaving
should
us a comment.
really
not
give
go
some.
out in double
Why don't you
digits.
give away your Ashiok?
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
not going to use them.
Yeah, that's fine. How about send me your email address or your mailing address, and I'll send you as many Omen Speakers as I have at home,
Oh.
and I'll sign them all for you.
You're going to start signing Omen Speakers.
Oh man.
All right, be careful what you wish for. You heard it here on SCG Live in Milwaukee. Shaheen Sarani will sign all of your Omen Speakers.
Send them
ladies
to
and
my house. Let
gentlemen.
me give you my address here. It will be it might be
I'm
fake.
just going to send them to the Indianapolis Invitational in 2 weeks where you're going to be playing. I'm going to be commentating. I'm going to laugh at the number of Omen Speakers you're going to be
Yeah,
signing.
hopefully nobody takes me up on that because it's kind of disgusting. Speaking of Omen Speaker, here's the second one. What's better than one Omen Speaker? 2 Omen Speakers.
I thought you were gonna say 0.
Nah, I'll be real here. In Mono Blue Devotion, this is the deck where it has to be in. I mean, it has a blue in its mana cost. It levels your Cloudfin Raptor.
I don't know.
But
Wouldn't
it's still
you rather have a blue 2-drop?
Oh yeah, I mean, they do
Another
play
one
the
in
4
addition to Tidebender?
They do play 4 Frostborn. Frostburn's
Man,
gonna be
he's
weird.
got
So I don't.
Frostburns, Tidebenders, and Omen Speakers.
Yeah, it's interesting to play. He has 2 Omen Speakers in his deck, so he drew both of them. So Greg's on the right plan. He only plays 2, and he got 2 out of 2. So we got Dragon here from Adam. Dragon's tough to kill. The blue
Mono
deck,
Blue's not killing anything.
yeah, well, he has one way. He's got the rapid hybridization. So that's the only way you're going to kill it. So
He could Cyclonic Rift.
yeah, delay it for another day here.
Delay it and put it back in hand to be able to counter it.
Yep.
Do something.
It doesn't look like he has a bounce spell. And we see the Omen Speakers doing work here. They're almost...
You're so cheeky.
I try to be cheeky. That's
Doing
one of my,
work.
That's one of my qualities.
What
there,
kind of work
cheeky.
is this?
This is
Oh, well, there you go.
peasant work.
It's still a red creature. You can Tidebender it.
Yeah, that's true.
Bend the tides. But we know that Adam's got a grip.
He shouldn't do it
full
now.
of
He should
removal
kill it in the
spells.
turn or during his turn to kind of like throw him off. So Greg attacks in a way that is non-advantageous. That's an instant I don't mind waiting on because we know that Greg's counter spells are only 2 mana anyway. So if he has a negate, he has it there. It's not like he plays Dissolve. Oh, he does play Dissolve.
He's
2
got 2
Dissolve.
dissolves.
Oh, never mind.
And this deck is so new. Maybe you're not quite familiar.
I'm
with
not
the-
because actually the other mono blue
what
decks
their
don't have
packages
Dissolve
are.
in there,
Yeah,
so it's
so-
something new.
There are no stock lists yet.
Yeah, we're not stock yet. Even a deck like mono blue can have a good amount of variance here and change here. He does have the Dissolve in hand, so.
Well, there's another Tidebender mage going to keep the Storm Breath Dragon locked
The
down.
land here is just devastating. So, Golgari Charm, for the first time in a while here, is going to do nothing. Well, he just has no application at this point. So, we'll see what
Wait for another one, double down to kill the Tidebender.
yeah.
Yeah, but those other abilities, it's
Kills an enchantment or regenerates
You can
creatures.
kill a Bident.
Yeah.
That's not bad. If Greg slams down a Bident here and tries to draw 3 cards, you can at least do that.
Oh, I'm trying to get a look at Greg's hand, but I have instant headache from trying to stare at it, so I'm going to look over here at Adam's side of the board. Dragon versus Omen Speaker. Omen Speaker is now defeating the Dragon.
Okay.
Right, the hate cards are so good at hating, aren't they? What is a hate card against Old John, against Thragtusk, Huntmaster? What's a hate card for that deck? There's no hate card. There's no card that just, you play it and they just cringe, you know? Well, Tidebender Mage gives you Devotion, taps down the best cards in your deck, and is a 2/2 that beats 2. It's just like, it has so much good, practicality.
So Greg wanted to read the Stormbreath Dragon, possibly confirming the monstrosity.
I don't like this play here by Greg. I think his board was good enough. He has Dissolve in hand, and if he waits for like 1 more mana, he can play this and use Dissolve to back it up. Because if Adam draws a Mizium Mortars here, I would have held that card. Because if you draw
He's just
Mizium
gonna
Mortars,
Golgari Charm.
well, if you draw Mizium Mortars, you kill everything except for the 2/1, and I would rather hold it. Because here's the reason: you're still facing down these creatures. See what you draw, because you can't. There's no 7 mana spell in your deck. Maybe he's just ready to monstrosity just for kicks here.
Yeah,
Drew land.
utilizes mana, grow his dragon.
Oh, he didn't monstrosity.
You can do it as an instant.
Upkeep, draw, get you.
No, it didn't do it in the draw.
Nope.
6 damage, almost dead to a random assortment of the Omen Speakers. You joked earlier about them doing work.
Oh, they did do work.
They
yeah.
did do work.
Yeah. They would have been
They finished the
They
job.
would have been better as any other card in Magic that has power toughness, but they did work. So Greg's going to win 2-0 with Mono Blue Devotion. Is this going to be the new menace of Standard?
No, this is not the menace by any means. Ricky Hayashi here with Shaheen Surani, StarCityGames.com Standard Open in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Talking about the Mono Blue Devotion deck. We just saw Greg Ogreenc win with it 2-0 over Adam Stocksdale playing a Jund deck. The Mono Blue Devotion deck doing well at Pro Tour Theros in Dublin, Ireland. StarCityGames.com. Team Star City Games member Sam Black making the top 8 of that Pro Tour.
Second place.
Devotion.
Pretty good.
Is it a menace? No, I don't think so. I think we'll start to see more cards like Golgari Charm, which can, you know, 1-for-1 all of the elementals, or anything that kills.
I'm gonna hold up the best card against that deck right now. Can you read that? There we go. Supreme Verdict. Best card against that deck.
Right, you're saying that the control decks will come into more prominence because they can take out all of the elementals. There are probably
not
other
even all the
cards.
elementals. Literally every card in this deck falls to that, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. They can start splashing white for defenses, but in the meantime,